Hey everybody. Well, hi, just Apple. How's it going? You can see I'm in my fancy garb again today. I swear I've been wearing this sweatshirt like, oh, I have myself on for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that, while I've been house sitting. I've been house sitting forever. First, from Christmas to like the 5th of January, and then I came back here. God, I don't know. Can't even remember. This sit ends on Thursday night. And then, oh, I don't know if I'm that pretty in today, but thank you. Yes, I love pink. It's one of my favorites. Um, and here, I'll give you a peek at my, this is my look. This is how it looked in my video last, a few days ago. Same old thing. Um, uh, oh, you did? Well, it's big for the boxes I usually send you, but it's not that big. I've gotten way bigger boxes than that. Um yeah, so I'm here till Thursday night, and then early Friday morning is when we fly to Palm Springs. Yay. I cannot wait. But thanks. You're so sweet. But oh, hi Mom Knows Treasures. How are you? Um So yeah, it's a quick turnaround, and I won't have had much time to unpack and then pack again Thursday night. I'll do my best and I get some sleep. I sleep pretty good here usually, but I'm kind of tired this week. And I realized that my almost 4 hour live sales are really killing my hips from sitting. And there's a couple things that I could do about it. And I've known that I have trouble sitting for that long for a while, but I've been just kind of powering through it. Um, Couple things: better chair with better support for my hips. Also, giving myself time to exercise my core, because now that I have my restrictions lifted for my abdominal area, having healed from the surgery in November, I can do more and get a little bit stronger in supporting my core, and that'll help my hips so much more. So, new chair, exercise, my core, which, I'm giving myself credit that, I've just had this big surgery, so it's going to take a minute, if at all. I mean, yes, it'll get better, but I'm only getting older. And then, what else? Oh, talking to just setting limits for myself with my live sales and my collabs with other people, that maybe the hair, maybe setting myself a limit, a time limit to be on, because I could do it standing up. I could take breaks and get up and walk around. I don't often remember to, especially because I feel like I'm going to miss something if I do. Hi, Sawdust. How's it going? Yeah. So, all the things. I need to do all the things, because, it doesn't necessarily hurt the day of, but the next morning I can barely straighten up. Like, my hips are so sore. And then even the next morning. So, today is Tuesday. It was that long live was Sunday night. Um, Today, like, I just took some Tylenol because it was hurting so much from just not doing anything. So yeah, I don't want to be in pain from doing it. So I'm gonna work on that. So how's everybody's day besides all of that stuff? Oh, the thrift shops in Palm Springs. Yes, jewelry jars. Oh my gosh, I just ordered 5 pounds of random jewelry from an online place, because we don't have jewelry jars here. We just they put everything online, the Goodwills, and even I think I at one of the private thrift shops I've seen a jewelry jar, but it didn't interest me, and it's not every day that they have it. So yeah, I'm taking a chance because I saw somebody's channel and they were doing an unboxing from this place called America's Thrift Supply. And I looked it up. They were giving, 15% off your first order. So I decided to take a chance on that just so I could do more of my jewelry collages or jewelry art. That is what I'm calling it. And I'm posting it. Pinterest. I'm trying to get all my pieces that I complete on Pinterest. Oh, thanks. My health issues are just, I had a big hernia repair surgery in November that I needed for a really long time because the first hernia repair failed. And the hernia was a result of a emergency surgery I had in 2016, an abdominal intestinal resectioning that kind of came out of nowhere and was an emergency. So they did this big abdominal cut, and then that herniated, and then I had it repaired the first time, like a year after after the initial surgery, and that didn't hold. And so had a lot of other stuff piling up before I could get to this, and so finally got that done in November. And so it was a big recovery, big open thing. And and Apple had hers that she'd had worked on before and had it fixed again. So I'm so glad that it's unbelievable the difference, because I didn't realize, because it slowly happens and you're dealing with life and taking care of other people and all these things that you don't really realize, or you might have other pain in other parts of your body. Like I had arthritic knees that needed to be replaced. And so I did all that first, because I'm like, I have to walk. So it's unbelievable though, the abdomen thing, because it was getting so bad that it looked like I was pregnant, like it was sticking out. And obviously I don't like how it looked, but didn't really realize quite how it was affecting my health. Like so many systems in your body depend on your abs holding in your guts, basically. And not only the pinching of your intestines or other organs, but just like the flow of your body doing its bodily functions and all these things, and just general, it just was making me feel terrible. And I didn't realize until now that I needed that so bad, just to have that stuff tucked in, sewed up, mesh, all the things. So even now I'm, I can still feel, it's funny because I just went into the doctor for a follow-up. It was like 7 weeks or something. And I was like, I feel this little pinching. I feel this and this. And we came to figure out that it was basically still the stitches on the inside that I'm feeling, because I'm so nerve sensitive. Like, and I don't know, maybe other people are too, and they just maybe don't talk about it as much as I do, but like I can feel it. It was like, it feels like a string. It feels like, and I don't feel it all the time. I just feel it, sometimes, or at the end of the day when I might have a little bit of swelling or something. And that, yeah. So I can feel all the things. Hi, Angie. Nice of you to pop in. I'm just doing my weekly craft with me live, no makeup and all the things. So, and when you have chronic pain or just pain all the time, you start getting used to it. And you maybe you're taking something, like I am taking gabapentin for various things, and occasionally Tylenol. And I don't take any other like hard pain medications or anything like that, but thankfully. But you get used to feeling in pain. And so then you, this is me. Yeah, raw, exactly. And I'm dog sitting. This isn't my house. I'm house dog sitting with Noodle, who hopefully will not bark while we're on. But if he does, I'll have to give the leash and calm him down. He's like, okay, when are my people coming back? Because it's been long enough. Because over a week, he gets like, starts watching the door. Hi, kitty. Oh, so good to see you. I've missed seeing you around and chatting in our lives, and but I've seen you around. So thanks for coming in. It's almost so nice. So yeah, you get used to the pain and then you forget that pain is your body telling you that something is up and that you need to take care of it. So, but you know, you can only get to it when you can get to it. And, it, you know, especially when it involves like a big surgery and stuff, you have to plan for that. But don't wait. I tell people about this with knee replacements too, because it's so scary. And, you know, if you watch the videos, which I did, the videos didn't scare me too much, but because I'm weird like that. But I can understand how some people get scared by it. But you're right, Renee. Yeah, especially, if you're taking care of somebody else first and it's more severe or something, or you think it is. But the knee replacement thing, you know, I'm young for knee replacements, but not so much anymore. I mean, there's the technology is better with the actual replacement prosthetic things that they use, that they can last more than 20 or more years now. So they'll depends on your insurance company too. But I had it done when I was 48 and 49. The first one was my left knee. The second was my right knee. And he wouldn't, because my surgeon wouldn't do it at the same time. I know some surgeons will, but I think most don't, because they want you to have, quote, one good leg to stand on. And so, I did it that way, which I didn't want to do because I was in such a hurry to get back to work and didn't want to miss out on any work things. And that's how I was the first hernia repair too. I went back to work like in 2 weeks, and that wasn't good for me, running around, and because I can tell such a difference, even though this surgery was so much more invasive because it was completely open, and the first hernia repair was a laparoscopic. I know that with this one, taking it more easy and not having a full-time job that I go to and physically work with people and all that stuff made such a big difference in my healing. So, sarcoidosis. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Neuro. Okay, yeah, I've heard of that, I think. Oh, Angie. Yeah. Yeah, so you become tolerant. Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure I had from a long time ago. But yeah, everybody has a thing, right? The famous noodle. Yes. Yeah, I sit for noodle because his people go on vacations, and sometimes work trips too, which is great. Nice to see you, Lorna. If I missed you coming in, I think I saw Sheila. Nice to see you all. Appreciate you all. So yeah, yesterday I did a lot of packing up my stuff from the sales that I had in last week or so, and shipped out some yesterday. Some will go out this afternoon, and then I'm going to turn around and have another show tomorrow with Sabrina. Tomorrow being Wednesday, 25th. And our show starts at 3 p.m. my time, which is Pacific, and at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is Sabrina's time. Oh, you've been listing. That's good. Yes, it's a listing, and well, it's all so much work for so little money, right? But that's kind of how life is. So anyway, I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to still talk with you and encourage you to talk amongst yourselves as well. But I'm just going to work on a few little things, keep my hands busy, and it's good therapy for me. I've been working on this. I don't know if you can tell now that I've done a lot of stuff, but it's hi, Georgia. How are you? It's a cat cookie cutter ornament that I've attached to a heart and then kind of decorated it up. You should do an unboxing. I think that would be awesome. Please do. Especially if you're considering doing it with my box. So yeah, I just wanted to make a whole bunch of like Valentine's things for my own tree that I have at the house with ornaments. And like I said, I've just been getting together some random little pieces of jewelry. So I just have one more to put in. Now, I say one more, but it's like potato chips, right? Just one more, but it's never just one more. I'm going to glue that in. What are y'all up to this week? Tuesday, we're well into the week. Monday wasn't too bad. Oh, we're just I was talking about my challenge of getting kind of achy and having some pain after doing marathon live sales. And I say marathon, anything over 3 hours, probably. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? I enjoy the sales. I just need to limit myself a little bit more because the sitting that long is too long for me. So yeah, so we're just chatting about that. You can get me going about these things sometimes. So, and I don't have, since I'm at Noodle's house, and I do have some of my craft supplies here, but not everything. I'm a little bit limited, but that's okay. I took a pizza box, which, by the way, this pizza was really yummy. It's a cauliflower crust pizza with plant-based pepperoni and does have real cheese, but cauliflower crust, so gluten-free. It was really good. Anyway, I took the pizza box and I wanted some hearts that I could decoupage on. So made these, and I have a bunch of those ready to go. And I have my Mod Podge, and I've been cutting up this book over here, this Victoriana diary from 1993 that my mom had in her house. And just these are like ephemera collages that they made into this book. And I love this kind of stuff. So I've been making my own collages out of this. A crochet blanket. Oh, neat. That's neat. Kitty. So I'm always a little bit puzzled. I know they use kids a lot for, when you look at postcards and Valentines and things from the back in the day, they used a lot of kid images. I kind of wonder why. Wasn't it an obsession with youth? Was it that younger people are lovely and pretty? Is it people associate love with kids and babies? I'd like to find out more about that because I've tended to not love to decorate with images of kids, and I don't know why. I like kids. I can tolerate other people's kids to a certain point. I love my own kids, of course, and I loved having them, and I could have had more kids, but I don't know. And do we do that now with things having to do with love? Yeah, the innocence of love, I guess. But sometimes when they're too young and we're talking about love, I'm like, what? What? Wait a minute. I don't know. I mean, they're cute. They're cute. I don't know. I love the cat more than anything. If it was just the cat with a bunch of roses, I would be so much happier with it. So I guess I wondered what other people thought, and if I was just a weirdo for thinking of that, because, as I'm making things that might appeal to a broader audience, I want to know what other people like to see. But there's a grown-up lady, or at least she has a hat on in more of a grown-up dress, so maybe she's But as I was looking through here, I was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. She's what, like 6 years old, maybe? Yes, her eyes are bigger. You're right. These are not photos, they're images. So yeah, they're gonna be exaggerated. But anyway, I like the eclectic collage kind of look that they make in these pictures with the ephemera, and I like that look. I'm not sure why they're all kids. There's a few ladies. I'd like to see a few men too. This is the cover. So I've just been cutting it up because it's it's an old diary thing. And then yeah, this is the inside cover, and so I've cut the back off, and I'm gonna use that because I like it. I like it a lot. Hi Margie. Hi again. So it even has, what's interesting, if you wanted to find out where they found the images or what the reference to them are, it's in the back of this book, which is nice. And it's done by, let's give credit where credit is due. It's done by Cynthia and John Grossman. Cynthia Hart and John Grossman. I'll read this. The seasons of the year and the seasons of our lives are celebrated here in the assemblages of vintage Victorian objects and ephemera. The joy and energy of that vibrant and expansive era rush from these pages like a dear and old friend to accompany you along the paths of the year ahead. Cool, right? Yeah, especially in the late 80s, early 90s. I remember because I was in college, and then in the early 20s, lots and lots of fun Victorian revival is what I call it, type stuff. Now I love this one. The Santa one is awesome. I might have to copy this one before I use it. So Cynthia Hart, okay. Yeah. And I used to save all this stuff. Then I moved a couple times, and then I had to let some of it go. There's some more grown-up ladies right there with the peacock feathers. Nice. But yeah, I'd let most of my paper stuff go. And then I found this when I was cleaning out my parents' house and decided to grab it and use it for something. It's like, even this, I love this with where they're in the carriage. But it's still like they're children dressed like adults. I don't know. I have a hang up with that. I love the animals. Yeah. I love the animals. I guess it maybe comes from a little bit of, in the last few decades, we become more aware of, social issues around child exploitation and just, I don't know. I think of that downside, I guess. Hi, Julie. How are you? But this is cute. I mean, their costumes. It all depends on how you look at it and focus on it, right? So I'm going to tell myself that. Focus on the stuff you like. I like the bow in her hair, and I like the little dog. And I like that they like each other, in a platonic way, right? In a big-eyed children kind of way. Yeah, it's cute. So, have y'all been doing any fun things lately? I have these. I showed them a couple shows ago and was selling them for $3 add-ons. They're, polished stone hearts. So my plan was, when I bought them, to do some wire wrapping on them. And I still want to do that. I just could not find my round nose pliers anywhere. So I just ordered some and they're coming tonight. Just ordered new ones. I have regular pliers, but no round nose pliers, which I like to use to make a rounded loop so if I was going to make this into a pendant, I'd want to make a rounded loop and then do some wire wrapping with that. There's even this opalite one. It's kind of pretty, kind of glassy looking. Oh, Lisa Ann. I like that. Yeah. Lisa Ann and Lisa Marie are very, yeah, you can use them as worry stones. Yeah, definitely, especially because they're kind of flat, because they're not very thick compared to other hearts. I have puffy hearts too at home that I've had for years, but yeah, you could use these for worry stones. I also have worry stones that are like a oval that have a thumbprint size, and I am very fidgety, you can tell. So yeah, I'm familiar with the worry stones for sure. I love them. I don't know what some of these others, I mean, I can guess what some of these other stones are, but I don't have one of those gemstone testers. I only have, some experience with, this is like leopard jasper, I would say, with 99% certainty. And then I don't know what this yellow, it's being washed out by the camera, but yeah. So that was a popular name back then, my era too. I was born in 70, so yeah, I know a lot of Lisa Marie's. The story goes, and my dad mentioned this recently, that I guess they named me Leanne because he had a, quote, girlfriend when he was like 5 that was named Leanne. This is labradorite. I'm 100% sure because it has some flash. Yeah, Dalmatian jasper, I think, is another name for the same thing as leopard jasper. But yeah, I think maybe Dalmatian is bigger spots. I'm not sure. These are definitely small spots. But yeah, I always loved, the semi-precious stones and like geology and learning about how they form and all that stuff. This one I think is cherry quartz. You see it's a little translucent. Yeah, I know, 5. So, but I'd forgotten or didn't know that until recently because my grandfather was named Lee or Leland. So my mom always told me that I was named after him and a friend they had in college named Anne, which, everybody and their brothers named Anne anyway. So that's, yeah. So yeah, I thought I was named after my grandfather, and my mom might have emphasized that more than, so yeah, she must have been special that my dad at 79 is still like remembering her. But I don't know anything about her or where she is or anything. So yes, exactly. And then my middle name is Michelle, and that is also a friend of theirs, I guess. And I turned out to be their only child. So yeah. Hey, Marcy. How are you doing, dear? Hope you're having a good day. So it's cold and wet outside where I am. I don't know the exact degrees. It's probably somewhere around 50. It's cold to me. plan to do these and be on for about 2 hours, but we'll see how it goes. It might be more like 1 today, just because I have some paid invoices, so I like to respond quickly with getting my shipments out right away, just as soon as I possibly can. And so I can get to the post office and the UPS store today. And I'm going to do that so our packages get out to my friends as soon as possible. I don't like to wait. I love seeing packages leave my house. It's the best. Because that means more space. And speaking of space, I've been thinking when I'm back from Palm Springs in a couple weeks, I want to do some videos from my house. Oh yeah, the sun is shining. Yeah, we had a little sun yesterday, but it was super cold in the morning. But I'm like, I'm not going to complain because it's sunny. But that's how it goes when we don't have that cloud cover to hold in the warmth on the ground. It gets cold. So I'm going to check the temperature. Oh yeah, it's 42. It's not even 50. I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to estimate. It might get to 43 today, I guess. That's about it. And then this granite countertop is so cold. I mean, it must be wonderful in the summer to have this, but it's very cold. So. Yes, Lorna. Oregon's such a beautiful state. Oh, such a beautiful state. I've been through it and in it so many times. Mostly on the way to California and relatives and stuff. Georgia. Oh, I'm on my second cup. Well, maybe 1.5 cups of coffee today. All right, let me see. I was going to ask y'all about this before I forget. So this is from the book, and I cut it out. And I just love, this is what I love. I love anthropomorphic animals doing stuff, like driving this old-timey car. So I want to do something with this. Don't have to keep this part. I don't know what to do with that. These pages are like, I don't know, 7 by 7 probably. And I want to save this guy and have him be included because it's part of the thing, but it doesn't, the background doesn't really match up. So I don't know what to do. I thought it would be cute for some kind of Easter thing. Maybe I'll just cut it out and put it in a frame. You know, I don't have to necessarily do anything crazy with it. But I was going to do this. I was going to take this because there's a kitty, a lady with a cat head right there. So I wanted to get that on my thing. And where's my pencil? There it is. I love that y'all are here and you're chatting and hanging out because that's what I like to do when I'm not on live myself. I like to just chat and hang out sometimes. If I were home, I would probably use my X-Acto knife on my cutting mat, but I'm not home. So I'm going to have to do it this way, which is fine. I lost my line there. Have a good day, Sawdust. Aw, I'm glad. See, I was watching other crafters when I've been, you know, having feelings and not being what I consider productive. And they inspired me quite a bit to be working on things and doing what I love, which is working with my hands and making pretty things. And so I finally got my stuff together and decided to do what Helen, our friend Helen Booty, does, which is schedule a craft live. Whether or not I actually craft or not is up to me, because like here, I don't have all my supplies, but I have some. I was able to think ahead and bring some things with me. But I could also just sit here and talk with you all if I want to and not craft. There's no hard and fast rules on these things. And it helps me so much to have friends to talk to. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I had done this and discovered this sooner. During the earlier parts of the pandemic, I remember reading distinctly an article talking about, what you could be doing, what you could do to spend your time, what's a good use of your time, all these things. And one thing that I saw was start a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, no, that's the one thing on this list that I'm not going to do. And so I just went along, listening to podcasts and filling out my unemployment and talking to other people about unemployment and just, doing my other stuff too, just trying to survive. My husband had just passed away right before the pandemic. And so I was dealing with that, the house, trying to decide what to do with the house, if I was going to sell it or what. Just looking at my future, right? And then also my parents failing health, needing to get to them and help them, but at the same time not wanting to get them sick. So that was a whole struggle. I tried to spend as much time as I could with them without exposing them, especially in the early stages before the vaccine. And by the time the vaccine came around and that we were all able to get it, because there was some trouble with them getting it in Thurston County. Thank you, Thurston County and Kaiser Permanente. It was too late for my mom's health. So anyway, what was my initial point? YouTube channel. So I was like, I'm not going to start a YouTube channel. But after my mom passed away, I was, I had all this stuff from her collections that I wanted to put values on, or at least price in the current market, and then bring it for sale. I didn't know how I was going to do it, if I was just going to continue listing on eBay or what. But after I saw some other people selling things online, I thought, I don't know, maybe I could do that. I don't know. But it took me a long time before I actually did. But it started off with just watching other people and George the Antique Nomad and people like that, just to get an idea of, what's trending, what people are interested in, and knowing what to basically grab and keep from the house, because I didn't know what was worth keeping. I couldn't keep it all, so I had to make priorities. So I often think back to those earlier times when it said start a YouTube channel. God, I wish I had spent more of my time doing that. But, if you get to it when you get to it with things in life. Things happen, in the time that they can happen. So I'm glad that I was able to do that, to meet all of you and sell some pretties and buy some pretties and just meet some really great people, really. Yeah. Snuggle up with something warm to drink. Trying to do that more, drink more tea, hot tea, because that can really help you like stay warm. You can also get a little caffeine if you want to, or go herbal and get the benefits of the like chamomile, calming, and peppermint, which is good for your digestion. So I got some great peppermint tea recently. So I'm trying to remember to drink that, because you still get, you know, your hydration that you need from tea, as long as it's not caffeinated too much, because caffeine is counterproductive to the hydration process. But even with caffeinated beverages, you still get some good benefits. And I have to have caffeinated coffee in the morning. I still cannot get away from that habit. Does caffeine help balance your hormones? Hi, Kari. How are you? Speaking of young people, how are you, young lady? How's your mama, who we love so much? And your grandma? I know they've been really busy with your mom's house, or your grandma's house, I mean. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Cleaning your shop, that's good. It's good to get organized. Stay organized. I've realized that too. I have my workspace that I normally also use as my crafting space. And I would really love to have a separate crafting space, separate from where I do my lives. So I'm going to work on that. Whoops. Just filling in this little blank here. And I popped it off. Maybe I'll let it dry for a few minutes before I continue. So I'm just doing a little decoupage, making some hearts with no real end picture in my mind of what I want it to look like. I'm just doing some paper crafts. Well, I'm glad you're here, Kari. Please help. Not hot drinks. Oh, goodness, it's not sticking. There's a little more decoupage, medium. And it's such a tiny piece, that's probably why. Is it snowy where you are, Kari? Hi, Patrick. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Appreciate it. Hope you have a really good day, whatever you're up to. Always nice to see you in the chat. Girl, Lorna, I know. And I've told my story because I don't want to hold it in anymore. Because that's just such a burden, you know. So there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. And, you know, I had to go over to my dad yesterday. Every time I want to help him. I want to help with all the things that I help him with. I am an only child. He's in failing health, not imminently, but he has Parkinson's and dementia, and he's 79 and wants to be climbing mountains and being as athletic as he used to be, but he's not. And it's hard. It's hard for him to sort of be trapped in this body that's not working like it should. And he's also on mood medication that, you know, we have to manage that because he does have mood swings And so that's challenging every couple times a year, usually. I have to deal with that. So yeah, I just have to get it out. I do. So I think I'm going to do other side. So every time I'm around him, it just kind of brings everything back up to the surface. So even though I've sold their house, I did just get a letter from the homeowners association because she's like, I haven't heard anything about the house. Can you tell me? I haven't heard from an escrow company or a realtor or anything about, can you let me know? And I'm just like, can you just leave me alone? Because I am trying to move on. I'm trying, it was a year and a half of trying to decide what to do with the house and then doing it and making decisions about what to do with the stuff and spending a lot of money to clear out their house, more than $10,000, to sell it to flippers, which, I'm grateful to sell it. I was grateful to be able to sell it in a fairly good housing market last September. But, because there's so much work that needed to be done to it, I couldn't sell it for, the average cost of a move-in ready. I mean, it was move-in ready. It just needed some updates. And there was one bathroom that was farther gone than I thought because I hadn't lived there for my adult life. So it's the same house I grew up in, though, from the age 6 on. So my parents had 50 years of stuff in there. And a hot tub. And can you imagine 50 years of National Geographics? Yeah. That's, yep. Yeah, it's taken care of now, but you see, I get a letter from the homeowners association. Well, can you update me on what's going on with the house? And I'm like, you're just opening up another wound for me. Like, can you just go away? I don't have to tell you anything. It's public record who owns the house. So just go. So I sent a note to my realtor, who's also my friend. And I said, can you help me with this? Because I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to deal with it. And she's like, yeah, I've talked to her before, so I have no problem talking to her. I'm like, okay, fine. It's just like, the Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched. It's just like that. She's the president of the homeowners association or treasurer or something. I mean, she just wants her dues, right? She wants freaking $55 a year. It's like, go away. I'm done with that. Like, the information was given on the record of sale, like the homeowners association, like, I don't know, just whatever. I have a hard time with stuff like that. So maybe other people just move on from it. But I just, especially when it's stuff that I've never gone through before. Like, when I sold my house in Seattle, there's no homeowners association that I had to deal with. So I didn't know, how to do it. Where we live now, there's a homeowners association. And I kind of like it because they help make sure everyone keeps up with their weeds and things like that, but not everybody does. But just dealing with that particular property. I'm glad that the house is sold. Still don't know. Well, the proceeds definitely are for taking care of Dad. So Beyond that, I don't know what we're gonna do with it. But luckily, there were some proceeds after all that was said and done. Thankfully, I can be grateful for that. Yes. I don't know, Georgia, if you know where Wedgwood is, on the corner of Ruddle Road and Mullen Road. That is where I grew up. So I think you're on the west side of Olympia, I think. Without giving too much away. There's a few subdivisions over there where my parents were living. It seemed like every place had a name and a sign and a homeowners association over there. And I'm making these little ornaments. I like to make them two-sided. That way they look good on the front and the back. Hi, Jan. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. Let's see how I can piece this together. That's an interesting guy. This guy has like a, let's focus there. Kind of looks like a bird on legs. Yeah, Ruddle Road, Mullen Road. Then, yeah, there's Pacific and Martin Way. All those places. Oh, you're Mason County. Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah. Not what I was picturing, but yes, I know that area too. But not quite as far as Tenino, right? Not that far south. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, I'll use this. Okay, yeah, in Thurston still. I was born in Pierce County and then lived, we lived in, that was just while my dad was drafted in an army, and then we were at Fort Lewis, and then we lived in California, Northern California. That's where my parents were from, and then in Humboldt County, and then also Sacramento because my dad worked for the state. And then we moved back to Lacey, got it, yeah. Yeah, there's probably a lot more people living down in that area than I remember from when I was living there, because, it's been a long time. 30 years, something like that. So it used to be south of Tumwater. Between Tumwater and Tenino, there wasn't much of anything, or if there was, it was just country and kind of remote. Oh, do you know that place called, there's like a restaurant kind of place called Grandma's something? My parents used to love that place back in the day. Oh, okay, yeah. My parents, yeah, were at St. Pete's a lot. Um, my mom was at St. Pete's before I moved them up here. So, yeah, there's some place. What is? I wish I could think of it. I'll have to Google it sometime and see if it's still around. It's like Grandma's Farmhouse or something like that, where they had like those big family style kinds of things. Which, they probably didn't survive the pandemic if they were still going. But anyway, it was something I remember from down around that area south. So it's going to be interesting to try to piece this in straight. Oh, Margie, I don't know. I don't remember talking to you about that. Well, it was a long time ago that I lived in Sacramento, but I had been back many times for real to do. Yeah, the airport. Yeah, I know that Olympia Airport. Yeah, and this grandma's place or whatever I'm thinking of was a little southeast of the airport, but not too far, but just kind of out to where there was not much of other things. A little farther away from the freeway. But yeah. Yeah, so I know Sacramento a little bit. We lived out by Sunset Mall, I think it was called, and we lived at a place called Allison Court. And it's probably changed so much down there in Sacramento since I lived down there. But I did go back in my 30s, for my grandmother's memorial. So I did do that. And then I've been there a few times. My cousins lived in a ranch out in Wilton, which is out there. And then my aunt lived in Rockland for a while. And so I saw her out there. But it has been a while since I actually lived there. And I miss it. I see pictures of when I was a kid and I was blonde and tan and seemed reasonably happy. I really feel like when I moved to Washington, I started becoming more depressed, and I just feel like I just am just affected by weather so much. You hear me talking about the weather a lot, or if it's sunny or this or that, and it's just because my mood just changes so much when it's sunny. And it's not even a conscious thing. I mean, I've come to realize it, but I'm not like, okay, I'm going to decide to be happy today because it's sunny. I know, Margie, I know. So how long have you lived up here, Margie? How long have you lived in the great PNW, which has its benefits? It's beautiful in the summertime. There's so much outdoor activity. We have mild winters compared to other places. There's a lot to be grateful for. Okay, you only moved up here since your son passed? Okay, didn't know that. Oh, you have a cute neighborhood, Georgia? Oh, yeah. Sometimes that, HOA can be good, but sometimes it's not. Depends on your point of view. Yeah. Do you think you'll stay up here? Or is it just a temporary thing? I think I'm going to put a coating on this while I have this out. And then I'm going to wash this brush, I think. Oops. Oh, I see. I see. So you came up to be with him. Well, I'll talk about struggles. I know you've had yours. You've been through your share of stuff. You know, I'm here for you. I think a lot of us can say that. Is it Granny's Cafe? I feel like it was more than that. It was more than a cafe. Maybe they've evolved to that. I don't know. Are you looking it up? Maybe I'll ask my dad. That'll be a fun little thing. I'm sure he'll remember. I'm going to try to speaking of that, get him to talk more about stuff. Maybe I'm at the stage where I can handle more of that. Or I can hear more, get more of his, you know, the stuff that he wants to share from his past and their past and stuff like that. I used to, when I go deal with his pills or take him supplies or whatever, it was just hard for me to be there because that's where Mom was last. But I think I need to be a little braver and spend some time with him while I have the chance, and at the very least maybe get him on some road trips, take him out. Keep telling him I'm going to take him out and look at bridges because he used to be a bridge engineer and bridge inspector for a while for the state. Well, for his whole career. So, oh, you'll stay here? Yeah. 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 Yeah, you came all the way over here from New England. That's so wild. Such a ways to go. To me, that's wild. And Margie, do you think you'll stay around here instead of going back to Sacramento or that area? Oh, yeah. I need to look again. I was talking with his doctor yesterday about support groups for him, and she mentioned Parkinson's support groups, and I've been meaning to help him find one. Not that he had thought of it or asked for it, just because I feel like he thinks that his struggles are unique, that nobody else has these problems, even though there's I was told a certain big percentage of the people that live in his building have Parkinson's. That's what I was told. But you know, everybody has different bodies and different symptoms, but I think he's just kind of a little bit closed-minded in that he thinks that his issues are unique and only his. And you know, in some ways they are his issues. Everyone has their own. But if you can kind of get out of yourself a little bit, kind of like we do here on YouTube, kind of get out of your own head a little bit and kind of realize that you're not alone, you're not the only one, all these things that sometimes that can help you put things in perspective a little bit more. So, yeah. Oh, here's somebody else. Oh, honey, I don't think I realized about your daughter. I'm so sorry. Okay. Was she in California? Yeah. Yeah, he did. He doesn't talk a lot about it, but hi, Kathy. How are you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the walker, yeah, he's he was stubborn a few weeks ago, actually a couple months now, trying to walk around with a cane, and it's just not the same as with the walker. He definitely stumbles backwards and sideways. I think he leans to the left, I want to say. So, and that's not uncommon. With Parkinson's. So he needs to use the walker. But he got in his head. I think it was feeling prideful and kind of show offing to some people that he had been talking to. And his mood, he was like in a manic phase at that time too. So he was running around. And so you'll see him now and you'll see he's quiet and kind of using his walker more and stuff. And you're like, who is this person? But that's how he is. He's bipolar, and that makes it difficult too for me to be around because I have to keep my own anxiety in check and make sure that I respond to him in a understanding, kind, and loving way, which is sometimes hard to do when they're behaving badly. Oh, neat, Kathy. Congrats on the auction win. That's fun. I bet you're excited about what you got. Would be. I haven't done that yet, the auction stuff. I've given my stuff to an auction company basically and paid them $10,000 to take my parents' stuff out of their house, but that's about it. They said most of their stuff wasn't of value, but I can't imagine them donating all of it to Goodwill or taking it to the dump because it certainly did still hold some value. I don't know what to believe. Alexa, stop. I was trying to listen to nature sounds and it turned into whale sounds, and I didn't want to listen to whale sounds anymore. Oh, okay. Rockville, Vernon, Connecticut. Neat. Yeah, what'd you get, Gabby? If he starts, you'll get used to it. Yeah, I just have to be patient and just deal with him as he is. It's just been a stressful thing for me to do that. I've been trying to take care of myself and my own health because I have a hard time with that sometimes. How many of you, has anyone out there done decoupage? Do you enjoy it? I love it. I've always loved decoupage. For my wedding gifts back in the day, I did these decoupaged boxes for my bridesmaids, these little heart-shaped boxes, and gave them their wedding jewelry in them. still remember that. Yeah, several places. That's how it goes. I've lived in California, Washington, and briefly in Idaho. Yeah, it was north of Salt Lake City, in that part of Idaho. It's like southeast part of the state. Yeah, the diamond painting is what you're into right now. Yeah. I bought one of those for my guy for Christmas, and I thought we could work on it together. It is a Baby Yoda. So, Baby Yoda picture. And I thought once we were done with it, he could put it in his office. So, what have you been up to lately, Julie? And hey, Julie, speaking of, since you're here, you know, I'm going to Palm Springs on Friday. Do you think you'd have any availability next week to meet me somewhere? I don't know. I don't want to pressure you or put any, I don't know. Just if you wanted to. It's no big deal if not. I'm just going to be there, and John has a couple hours each day of work that he has to do. And then I guess Wednesday night next week, there's a employees only kind of dinner. So I'll have that night available unless the plus ones decide to do their own dinner, which I haven't heard about yet. So I don't know. I'll be at Margaritaville. Literally, sounds so funny. I also love fabric decoupage too, instead of paper. I love to use fabric in covered boxes or other kinds of little pieces of decor. Oh, I think I started saying earlier, and I get sidetracked a lot, that I was going to do a video where I kind of show you around my house and get help and tips from you about how to, because what I want to do, it's a very modern house that I live in. And so I want to decorate with sort of more of a vintage flair in this space that is very modern. And it's hard for me to kind of figure it out. It looked great during Christmas. I was able to really get that feeling, that vintage feeling. But now that Christmas decorations are down, it's very stark and I don't know how to decorate it. You know, I'm used to having an old 100-year-old house, which is what I had in Seattle. And now I have this modern house and I don't know how to approach decorating. So his company is, they're based, I think the CEO is in Boston, but they are, everybody works from home. Everyone works remotely, which I think is fabulous because they're a software company and he's a software engineer and they can do all their things with their own equipment at their own houses. They're given an allowance for office supplies, like, fancy chair and, desks and stuff. Oh, that's okay. No worries. Don't feel bad, Julie. I'll be down again. My daughter still lives down there, so at least I think she does, but I think she's moving. Her lease is up in February, so she's moving either in with friends or something. I hope. She just hasn't told me what she's doing yet. So, and I'm trying to not be too motherly with her. I just want to let her do her thing. And she's 24, so she's always been mature for her age. I don't think she needs me to help her with anything, but I, of course, am here to help if she needs it. Artwork, yes. So I need some of that. I don't have any, really. I have a couple pieces my mom did. A couple watercolors. My dad has most of our oil paintings in his place. There are a few in storage that I could grab, but honestly, they're not appealing to me, so I haven't grabbed them. And art is expensive, so I'm gonna have to, figure that out. I don't have curtains. Because it is very noisy. We have one rug in the main floor of the house. The top of the house is carpeted, but it still has high ceilings and very echoey. And the main part of the house is just the sound carries so much. You can hear everything. So I'd like to get some curtains because of that. Maybe a bigger rug in the main part of the house. We like to keep, there's some allergy and asthma sufferers in the house, so we like to keep it pretty bare for that reason, but it's a little too bare for the sound and the warmth that I want. Yeah. Well, also we're renting. We're renting this house. So there's only so much we can do. We're renting because in this market where we live, and the situation that we were in, John was laid off right before we were to move, and so that made buying a house kind of tricky because I'm not employed. I just live off my savings, and so we don't own our home. We where we live now, but we're grateful to live in it. So I don't know what we can do as far as painting. I don't know, and even hanging up curtains, I'm a little worried about that because the property manager was commenting about the previous tenants having had curtains and then leaving holes in the wall. She did say you can put things up, but whatever you put up, you have to leave up. So I guess we could do that. Put up curtains and then just leave the curtain hardware up. I don't know how that works. We're going to stay there for at least, like 7 years or something. And then we don't want to have property necessarily. We want to just be able to go do our thing and not be kind of tied down to a place, if that makes any sense. Maybe it's kind of backwards, but that's just where we are in our lives. So, removable wallpaper. Hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to look into that. No way, Kathy. Really? I can't. That's crazy. That's amazing. Yeah. Everyone's like, you sold your house in Seattle. You have this money because we did pretty well because we owned it for 20 years and it was a seller's market. It was crazy. But they're like, why aren't you putting that money back into a house? And I'm like, because I'm dealing with stuff, I wasn't ready to make that big decision. And then, my partner's situation with his job and stuff. He's working for a really great company. You see spots. Did I stop doing stuff? Anyway, I go back and forth. Like, Yeah, I should have put that money back into a property or something. Kind of glad I didn't, because then interest rates are going up and things are kind of swinging back the other way. I kind of don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it. And my counselor says I have decision fatigue, which I know I do. So anyway, I feel like, I'm 50, almost 53. It feels a little weird not to own my own place, but at the same time, it's kind of nice and freeing to not, because when we're done, we can go do something else. Because I don't want to stay here. I love it here, but I'm also I'm ready for some more sun, some more fun, some more variety. I get tired of one place all the time, and I need change. Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really understand what the property manager wanted them to do instead, but yeah, I guess they had taken down the curtain rods. It's a brand new house, and I guess these were the first tenants, and they were like roommate tenants in this. So 4-bedroom house. So a bunch of young people, so they probably didn't know any better. She even said, if you mount the TV, you got to leave the mount for the TV up when you leave. I was like, okay. But what if the new tenants don't want that? So whenever I've rented, I've just filled the holes. So it's been a long time since I rented before this. A long time ago. You can't cut a straight line. Okay, what did I miss? You do an accent whilst you added. Yeah, it is nice to have something that is your own, for sure. For sure. I've been there, done that. I'm good. I think John felt the same way. Been there, done that. I'm good. So, but I mean, going into more mature years, I sometimes wonder, well, are we going to want to be as transient as we think we are going to be? Because I think we wanted to kind of move around a little bit after his kids are grown, that is, because his kids are, one's almost graduated, other daughter's 15, and then he has 2 boys who are almost 13. 2 twin boys, almost 13. So those guys are going to be with us for a little bit. So that's why we were like, okay, we're going to be around for at least 6 more years. And then we're cutting loose. we're cutting loose. We're going to head south. We're going to get some sun. We're going to have some fun as much as we can. He can work remotely. She left her TV mount at one place, left them on stands. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I wanted to do the stand thing, but John really wanted to put it up. Hope he's not watching. He might be. I still can't get used to that TV mounted above the fireplace whole thing. It just, I don't know. I'm probably weird. Oh, you lost your Claudia project book? Oh my gosh. Well, I almost brought it over here, and then I thought, well, I don't have any glitter or anything, and I don't want to glitter up their house because I'm not at home right now. So I didn't bring it. But I still have to do the glitter, and then I still have to do whatever the next thing is. I've only done the colored pencils thing, so I need to catch up because I do want to do it. And then I think I told you, Renee, that I was looking for a different book because I started with the sketchbook, and then I was like, maybe I want to do an old book instead. Hey, you guys, I wanted to ask you too, Kathy. I bet you have some ideas. Right now, I'm at, if you're asking me, Georgia, I'm at a place where I dog and house sit. It's at Noodle's house. Noodle is the dog that was in a couple of my videos, and he is a Cocker Spaniel, and he's very needy, and he has medication, and he likes somebody to sleep with at night. So while his people are on vacation or work trips or whatever, I come over and they pay me to house sit, and it's lovely. I love it. I love Noodle. I love taking care of him. He is fairly easy, especially compared to some others that I have worked with. I've always loved dogs and cats, as you know, so I do dog and cat sitting. So, I mean, when I say I don't really work, I do, but it's not like a big job or anything. So that's where I am. Yeah, it gives me a chance to have a little change of pace, which I like. Yeah, Noodle's cute. Yeah, I mean, the mounting the TV thing is great with the saving the space. And, you know, as TVs got thinner and thinner, I remember when we lived in our Seattle house, there was not a lot of floor space. But we had a big projection TV. It probably took up, you know, you remember those big boxes. They took up a lot of space. Can't believe now I was able to give that thing away. But somebody came and got it when we got our flat screens. I am not much of a TV watcher, though. I don't sit in front of the TV too often. Oh, that's cool, Kathy. Oh, what was I going to ask you, Kathy? What I was going to ask you is, and other people in the chat, you know, I have this circle of people that I watch a lot, you know, crafting or vintage or that kind of thing. But I want to discover more channels. I want to, and sometimes I'll look at the recommended and I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But I don't know. I'll go and look at it and then I don't get very jazzed about it. Are there channels that you guys like and recommend that I should check out, or you think I should check out that I might enjoy? Because I like networking with people. I like and learning from people. And so I want to kind of expand my watch list, I guess, to beyond vintage, to beyond. You can teach your algorithm, Kari. Wow. I wish I had your brain. I can learn it. I can do it. I'll figure it out. But I don't know where, what to tell it, what direction to go in necessarily. I'm going to put this gal on the side. Look, this little person is riding a bee. Or riding a butterfly. I don't know why I said bee, butterfly. Okay, I'm going to write this down. Janie's journal. Okay. Oh, that's another project I want to do with you guys sometime. I have a journal that my mom started, but probably only got a couple entries into it. So it has a lot of blank pages. So what I wanted to do was take some of her photos that she had in like an old photo album and combine the two, combine the journal and this photo, the photos from this photo album, and make sort of like a, I don't know, just a junk journal kind of thing in the journal, which is a hardcover and is in pretty good shape with the bindings and everything. And just make a more interesting kind of eclectic mix of, maybe I can write memories or things. Janie's journal. To make sort of a keepsake to give to my daughters. Yes, I found Sheena. Yes, I'm following her. Yep. Yeah, definitely following Sheena. I haven't watched anything live from her lately, but I've been meaning to delve into her channel a little bit more. So that is good. And yeah, I need to decide what it is I'm looking for, but sometimes I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. That's just kind of how I am. I know I want something, but I don't know what. Kind of like with dinner, right? You want to have dinner, but you don't know what to make. Yeah, you're right, Corey. You know what I love watching sometimes when I'm trying to wind down for bed, and I'm not watching TV or anything. Biography kinds of shows, So definitely I'm interested in history. So I like to watch. I think I watched biography of Mark Twain the other day. That kind of stuff. That old bird farm and the mountain homestead. Cool. That sounds good. Debbie. Oh, okay. So if I click on that link, yes, my Vagabond Style, I am subscribed to her. I need to put on the notification bell and I could just watch her weekly stuff. Yeah, definitely. Rachel Maskey, I've heard that name. Huh. I love your ideas, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Kari, since you're an artist, a creative, if you will, what do you call it the way I like to craft where I'm not necessarily sure what my end result what I want to have happen, but I call it like evolutionary crafting, or just where things kind of evolve. That's what I call it. But what would you call it? I just like put things together, and I might have a general idea of what I want the finished product to look like, but like with this, at least this collaging, I don't know what I'm doing really. Scrapping, taking scraps and putting them together. Oh, okay. Well, I need relaxing. I definitely need relaxing. I still have trouble with my abdominal areas when I sit too long. And I probably need a standing desk or something. Your collection of boxes sort evolutionary. Yeah. Well, are you like me? Like you'll find something and you'll like go and like you'll find something in a box, right? You have a task ahead of you, but then you're like, oh, I'm going to go do this with this. And then you're kind of completely off track with the bigger project. I lack focus. That's what I'm going to say to about myself. I lack focus sometimes. I love this piece. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I wanted to put it on a heart, but then I would have had to cut off her legs. So I'm going to try to figure out what else to do with it, because I like that bathing, you know, they're in these full dresses and they're out in the water, and they're her like lace up shoes or whatever, slippers. I like to do that. Collection of boxes. Maybe you should do some videos, Georgia, or some lives. I'm very peachy pinky today, I guess. It looks sort of, maybe it's the lighting in here. It looks sort of amber, the lighting. Yeah, I'm gonna so I'm gonna wire wrap them, but I think I need to wait for my round nose pliers to come, because I couldn't find the round nose pliers that I know that I already have, unless I gave them to my daughter or she stole them or something. I don't know what happened. So I ordered some new round nose pliers, because I want to get the bail that I make completely round rather than, you know, flat like with these pliers. So anyway, I'm going to do some wire wrapping, kind of make little pendants where people can either wear them as a necklace or put them on their keychain, or otherwise have little kind of adornments. But I like their flatness. That's what I got them for. And then I have some extras that I sold a few on a live as an add-on. People that already had boxes could buy them for $3. So I did that. And I'll probably bring some more to a live someday. Speaking of that, we have a live show coming up on my channel tomorrow. Sabrina Simon Says Let's Make a Deal, and I will be on live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, if anyone's interested in joining us. Just to hang out and, see what we have in our vintage sale. We are planning to have a guest, but I think we're still waiting for confirmation. So I'll tease it here. We might have Calypso Cat. I think the thumbnail is up and includes that. We might have Calypso Cat Kathy with us. Cat. She goes by Cat. So that'll be fun. Hope she can join us. I've never been on live with her before, so that'll be fun. It's another Texan friend. And let's see, get this glued down. Yeah, they are. They're kind of small, but yeah, they're definitely good palm stones to hold on to. Worry stones. I gave my mom a bigger one that she held when she passed. Why can't I get this in the right spot? Here. Okay, right there. I've always loved stones. Have you guys ever been to a place? Now, this was like 15 years ago or something. We had a place in Seattle that had polished stones all over the floor. It was like a shop. So you could go in there and these polished stones would be all over the floor. Now, I can't imagine doing this in COVID times now, but this was very much pre-COVID. And you could go and you could sit on the floor in and on and amongst these stones and pick out, you could get a bag and pick out the ones you want to take home with you. And they sold by the bag, basically. Have you ever heard of that? And would you go to a place like that? It was fun when the kids were little and my mom and I would go and just sort of therapeutic. There'd be music playing and just, I don't know, nice. That's not where I want it to be. Yeah, maybe that's the boxes she's going through. Oh my gosh, that's sticking so fast. Usually I have a minute to play with it before it sticks. Yeah, well, yes, exactly. The beach. That's kind of the way it was, but it was in the city and you could purchase the rocks, but they were polished like they were like agates and that kind of stuff. And no sand, which was nice. So, yeah, I haven't heard of a place like that since or anything. So, I don't know whatever happened to that place. And it was just in this tiny hole of the wall retail space in one of these old buildings that are in Seattle. And before, they could have been torn down by now. I don't know. It stays the same. Oh, seashells. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. Just somebody's vision, somebody's passion, brought to life in a business. So, well, I don't know what to put on this spot, but so I commend them for making it happen and bringing their vision to life, however long it lasted. And I enjoyed it, and I'm sure other people did as well. Yeah, I know. I love buying. I'm trying not to get too carried away with the buying. But I also, it's hard because I want to support my friends. Sorry, I have the thing in my mouth. Yeah, as far as buying goes, you got to do what's right for you. Everything has a season, right? So there might be a time when you can buy more and a time when you buy less. But yeah, it's tough because the accumulating can really happen. And then, like, my daughters would be like, Mom, don't buy any more stuff. Because they saw what I went through with my parents' house, and they don't want to have to go through that, or, you know, and I get it. I totally get it. It's very fresh in my mind. And to be spending money to have somebody take it away. Good. Where are you posting, Georgia? Are you posting like Facebook Marketplace? Or I did OfferUp for quite a while and did really well with that. Games and things like that. Of course, you have to be willing to have people, meet you somewhere. But I had no problem with that. Okay, let's stay. Oh, maybe. Still can't find it, Renee, huh? Oh, I don't know. How much did you have in that book? Maybe it's not such a big deal to start a new one. I mean, I only have one page done in mine, so it wouldn't take much to start a new one. You do you, girl. Yeah. Yeah, there's some things, you can hold on to. It's no big deal and whatever. There's some things that you don't need to hold on to 50 years of National Geographic. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just you not being able to let go at that point. You're not looking at them, you're not reading them, you're not referencing them. It is a little bit of a generational thing, too. Like, I get that. You have the generation that, they might have grown up not having anything. Now they have something. They don't want to let it go. They paid money for it. They just can't, they get hung up on not being able to let it go. And instead they let it drag down their life, basically. Because my mom would say, well, we can't move. How could we physically can't move because what would we do with all the stuff? We can't move because we have the stuff. Well, that's keeping you from going and doing things. Like, is that worth it? Is having that stuff worth limiting what you can do in your life? So it's, priorities, it's perspective, it's a lot. And those things, too, are emotional triggers for people. They get emotional about their items. And I'd say to that, okay, but I think once you've had the perspective of seeing what it can do to other people's lives, sometimes it helps you be able to manage it a little bit in your own life, a little bit more. Maybe keep a little more perspective. Probably, I've always enjoyed miniatures, was probably part of why I only collect small things, because in most cases, because I want to keep it small. I want to keep it light for when I do want to escape to the south or wherever I'm going to go. I want to be careful that I don't cut her up too much, because I want to be able to use her somewhere. So, looking at the other side. Oh, you do? Well, if that's what you want to keep, then do it. I'm not going to tell you not to. I think I let mine go. I think I did. I'm trying to remember, because when I cleaned out my parents' house, there was definitely still a box that I had in the room that I occupied when I lived there. And so I had a shoebox of letters from my boyfriend when I was in high school. And I kept it for, obviously, many years, but it wasn't on my mind because it was stuffed in that closet. So I think I probably recycled those because I didn't want the house clean out people to come across it. Not that they read all that stuff anyway, but whatever. I definitely don't think my mom got into it because it was way up in the closet. She wouldn't have bothered. But, I let go a lot of sentimental things that I could have kept or found sentimental enough to keep in the house. But again, did not want it to then come into my house and my life and kind of inhibit my progress in any way. And I had just gone through cleaning up my own house and of 25 years of my late husband's stuff. I did bring some of it with me to this house because I intend to spend some time, like his photos and things from his high school days. Really would like to give them to my daughters, but I don't know that they want them. But I feel it's hard. I don't know. I keep thinking I'm going to digitize them, but I never do. And that costs money to have a service do it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I have them in the closet, and I need to make a decision because they're taking up space in the closet. So I'm getting a little of this decoupage medium on the counter, but I know it'll clean up really nicely with water. I'm not worried about it too much. I'm glad you all are here and just chatting away. I know there's other places to be, and you could probably double screen it like I do. Appreciate you hanging out with me so much. I'm probably only going to be here for another 10 minutes. I'm going to go leave Noodle, go to my house. Noodle, are you still awake? Noodle, come here. Go to my house, grab some shipping labels that I have ready, and mail some packages. Go to the UPS store and post office, get those out. And on the way to their new owners. Oh, thank you. Noodle, come here. Where are you? Oh, I heard his caller. I think he's asleep in the front room. I think he's been looking out the front window for his peeps. He's looking for his peeps. Noodle, come here. Come here. I want to show you the peoples. Come here. Come here. Hey, Hey, Newt. You were on the couch, weren't you? You were on the couch. Should I pick you up? Do you want to come up here? I don't know if you'd know what to do with yourself if I picked you up. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Do you want to? Do you want to? Come on. Come on. He's stretching. Come on. Noodle bug. Noodle bug. I'll just move the camera and show him. Whoops. I touched my screen. There. Noodle. Where are you, Noodle? Is that you, Noodle? Noodle. Noodle, come here. Come here. Noodle. Come here. Put your feet up. He's looking at the camera. He's like, what's that? You're on camera, Noodle. Noodle, you sit. You sit pretty. Sit. Why is he not listening to me? There. Noodle, sit. Noodle. Noodle, sit. He's so confused. He's like, what is happening? Good boy. He's yawning because you're nervous. You're like, what are you making me do? What am I doing? Oh, hi, Tammy Renee. How's it going? Noodle, they can't see you over there. Well, there's Noodle's little feeding station. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. I knew you want to put your paws up. Say hi. I know. Say hi. Say hi to people. I feel like he's done this before. Like he knows that he's on camera. Do you know? Do you know what's up? Do you know what's up? He has really long eyelashes. They're like more than 3 inches long. He's so sweet. Aren't you sweet? You're a sweet little boy with that nubbin tail of yours. That little nubbin. I know I baby talk. I baby talk with the animals a little bit. But how could you not? He's such a sweet boy. All right, I'm putting the camera back up. What you guys got going on today? What's up in the world? I'm going to clean up this stuff. I just love the smell of Mod Podge too. Is that weird? Is that weird? I guess it's just a glue smell. Oh, maybe I'll go ahead and cut off her legs. Hey, Midge, how are you? Or I can leave the pizza on it. The Tattooed Chef. That's the brand of this awesome gluten-free frozen pizza. And it doesn't, I mean, it does kind of taste like frozen pizza, but it's good. It has plant-based pepperoni and real cheese, which I like. I like a lot. All my friends are here. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you, Shelby. So I missed you coming in. Thanks for coming in. Oh, and let me mod Tammy Renee. I like to turn people blue, people that I know. Make you mods. So if you have anything that you want to put in the chat to promote, please feel free. Because that's another reason why I'm here, is to help network, promote friends. And yeah, I wish Noodle was a cat sometimes. Just because I like cats. I like dogs too. Don't get me wrong. I like all animals, but definitely. You have a channel, Shelby? Cool. Let's check that out. Oh, what are you crying for? Do you want to go outside? Let's see Shelby's channel. Excuse me. Nice. What do you like to do on your channel, Shelby? Looks like we follow some similar people. It's cool. I guess everybody has a channel. Whether or not they use it is another story. But when I first started watching YouTube, I'd say, I don't have a channel. And people would be like, yes, you do, because you do. If, oh, hi, Stitch It. I'll make you blue too. If you have a YouTube name, you have a channel, basically. So yeah, if anyone has anything they want to promote, feel free to do that in the chat. Yeah, tell us you just like to relax. Okay, Shelby. Nice. Just relaxing and talking. I like to relax too. I used to say that laying down was my favorite. When I was an esthetician, people would come in and, all walks of life. And I was doing, at this time, just doing facials pretty much exclusively. I think we started doing waxing there. And my previous jobs was more waxing than facials, but I started just doing facials at this one place. So people would come in and they'd lay down for an hour and a half, depending on, hi, Stacey May, depending on, what they booked, what facial they booked. And I would, just to kind of relate to people and lighten the mood a little bit. And also being my goofy self, I would say, about laying down. Laying down's my favorite. Just silly. But I have a way with my hands. I kind of miss it. Giving facial massages and shoulder massages, and I have these long spider-like fingers and being very tactile. I think I was pretty good at it. I got a lot of positive feedback. I think all positive. So I kind of miss that. I miss the touch therapy, because it was not only therapy for my clients, it was therapy for myself. Hi, Pamela. Is it Michelle, I think? Or do you prefer being called Pamel's Vintiquities? Nice of you to come by. Appreciate it. Hope I'm not babbling too much. That's kind of what I do, though. It's like this train of thought that comes out of my mouth. But yeah, it was therapeutic for me as well. It was therapeutic for my clients. So just because that act of service, I guess, it's very much service industry when you're an esthetician. A bit like the combination of a waitress and a dental hygienist in a way. There's very much a lot of similarities in being an esthetician with being like a dental hygienist. And that's why at the beginning of the pandemic, it was probably hardest on people that like me who worked literally in people's faces, right? And then when some people started back, like in May of 2020, started back a little bit before the vaccines were out. Thought that was crazy. Hi, Roy. So glad you caught me live. I am only on, actually, I was planning to be off at 2. Now that it's 2:01, I should go. I'm trying to keep this weekly schedule, Tuesdays at noon. I don't know if I'll be on next week because I'm going to be out of town. But definitely any time that I'm home, even though I'm not home at the moment, but I'm in a home. I was an esthetician, Roy. Well, I still am licensed esthetician. I worked full-time in it for about 10 years before the pandemic. So I have not gone back yet, but God, bye, Georgia. I'm so glad you were here, honey. So good to see you. Yes, Michelle, thank you so much for coming too, everybody. I'm starting to remember people's names a little bit more. And then I know some people don't like to use their real names. I'm trying to remember, who's who and stuff like that. Be respectful. But yes, yes, yes. Free facials, I know. And what about back waxes? Did you do that? Because that was when I was doing a lot of waxing. That was my favorite kind of waxing, was back waxes. Because you have this blank slate of a canvas, as opposed to like doing eyebrows where you could, gotta be careful that you don't get too much or too little of something. Blank canvas, it was just awesome. I just love doing back wax. But I think I had somebody to practice on back then. I can't remember. But yeah, the facials are definitely, especially when I was in school, really fun to have done. Oh yeah, now it's more permitted then? Is that what you're saying? I never minded. I mean, when I was younger, I think the thought of back hair was gross because also it meant, guys that are older. But now that I'm older, I don't, it's just body. It's no big deal. It doesn't, and I've never been squeamish about that stuff too much anyway. So, but yeah, fun. I kind of miss waxing a little bit. I have all the stuff. Just, just don't do it really. And even my own eyebrows, I used to do my own stuff, and now I don't even really need to anymore. So yeah, you're funny. Well, I'll say goodbye. I should really, as much as I'd like to hang out and chat, I should go and do my packages and get ready for my show tomorrow. So if anyone has anything to promote, like I said before, I don't know if you're here, Roy, just go ahead and put your link in the chat. But I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for joining me, and hope you have a great day. And next time when I'm back at home, I'll have better lighting. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Be happy. All of those good things. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.